Alrighty. What is going on, ladies and gents? Hope everybody can hear me clearly. I hope everything's up and running and going smoothly. We are going to start off here with the indices. We're going to go over SPY and QQ going into this week, and then we will check out 10 new setups going into this week that we could be paying attention to or potential money coming our way. All right, so we're going to start here with the weekly charts. I'm just going to run through this very quickly. I'm just going to give you guys my brief little perspective here on how these charts are looking. All right, so I do want to point out inside week, bigger wick to the downside, lower volume. Now, someone actually did get triggered in the comments about this, thinking I was cherry picking information. Truth is, when I made the weekly update, I completely forgot we had Monday off, so I wasn't cherry picking information. I'm just going off of what I see on the charts. But if anybody ever leaves, a mean comment, just know like that person is an emotional, like their emotions are in control. That is the same that was happening with that comment. Someone got triggered and emotional over me just doing my technical analysis, which means I'm guessing they have too much money opposing my viewpoint. For them, I'm not saying too much money for me. It's too much money for them, and they're going to be losing sleep and losing their emotions going to be running wild because of it. Don't put yourself in that situation. But yeah, I'm not cherry picking info. I am literally just pointing out you have pretty low volume. Even if we had that, we had Monday in there, we'd probably have this volume candle right here. It would probably be like right here. So I would still call it low volume. Just like I said, we have a big fat green candlestick last week. That was off of low volume. Was I cherry picking information there? No. All right. Regardless, all right. Inside week, the pullback happened off of decreasing volume. What I also want to point out, pretend this line and these underlines aren't here, and pretend it's just this one right here, right? Guess what? You had resistance from the week over here. You broke above that resistance. Boom, you came back. You retested the resistance. That's where you closed out the week. Over here in SPY, this is something I did not mention in the damn right, we could check out AMD, SQ, Apple, Nvidia. SQ is falling off a cliff. We will go over that one. Nvidia is on our watch list, and AMD is still a freaking monster, all right? So yeah, damn right, we'll be going over those names. All right, and again, I know there's a lot of lines. They mean something to me, all right? During the week, I will be paying attention to these. These things will tell me where price is very likely heading next. All right, but pretend every single line on this chart is gone except for this one right here. What do you have? It's the same thing we just went over here on QQ. All right, so you have this resistance going on. You could actually do yourself a favor and just put that like right here. All right, I'm going to keep mine right here. All right, just because on the daily time frame, that is a level I want to pay attention to. But you can also see right here, you have stronger weekly resistance. Boom, you literally broke out and retest that level. All right, you come over here to SPY. We have the same exact thing, all right? Again, I know, just pretend all the other lines aren't here and we're just paying attention to this bad boy right here, all right? We'll make it a white line. Guess what? Broke out above your weekly resistance, came back and retested. So classic break and retest going on here. I love the setup. I'm going to just tell you guys right now, I think charts are more bullish than they are bearish at this point in time. If you do not know what to be paying attention to for to get bearish on this chart, I will just quickly go over there right now, all right? I did go over that in the weekly update, but just in case you missed that, and you were just here for the weekly live streams, here you go, all right? You break this to level right here, 44275, you immediately get bearish. You're immediately, very likely, going down to 441, all right, which I think is an hourly level we were paying attention to. Yeah, 441. Underneath 441, guys, you have nothing until 437, all right? Do you see what's going on down here? You have nothing in between right here, all right? So you're probably just going to go if you lose this level right here, you're probably going to very quickly go down here, all right? That's when you're getting bearish. Until that happens, you're not getting bearish. Until that happens, the dip will remain a buying opportunity. If we do end up coming all the way down here, that is when we get really bearish. Why? Because we'll have high, low, lower high, come down, you'll have a lower low, all right? So if that happens, that's when you get really bearish. So I told you guys 44275, that's level to be paying attention to right here, all right? It's Thursday's low. If you break 44275, that's when we get bearish. If you come all the way, that's when we get bearish because price is likely coming all the way down here. If you break this level right here, you're very likely going to this level. And if you do that, I'm going to give it 9-to-1 odds. You are very likely just going to come right down to 431.19, and that's where I still do think a lot of buyers are going to step up to the plate. But like I said, all right, you break this low right here, 431.19, or not 431.19. The low over here was 433.01. You break that, we immediately have to get bearish. I don't know what else to say other than that. You're going to have a confirmed downtrend on the weekly time frame. That's not something that literally has happened this whole time. All right, like this whole run up, you have not had these conditions pop up. Let's just look when you did have this condition pop up. You had a high, you had a low, you had a lower high, boom. That week, yeah, I understand. You already sold off pretty heavily that week. Let's just look over it. So you open right here. All right, you sold down to sold down $10. Well, guess what? You went another $10 lower that same week. That's why we immediately have to get decently more bearish right here, right? We are, you break that, we could actually come all the way down here to this gap fill, and this is on the daily time frame, 423 gap fill right here, 422.92. Right. All right, so that's really what we're paying attention to watch, to watch for this week. All right, same thing, just like we went over in SPY. You break 369.15, we immediately get bearish. All right, until that happens, we don't get bearish. There's just not really a reason to do so. That's pretty much it, guys. Same as like for the downside as upside. All right, so upside, you're watching 375.29. You break above here, guys, you got nothing until 381. There's your trade right there. Buy, all right, you break above 448.11. That was your resistance from over here. You reclaim it. You got nothing until you come up to 451.55 to like 453-ish. That zone, you'll have nothing. So you're very likely going to retest that supply zone. But we're going to have to see how things shape up. You did have this bear shooting star candlestick on SPY on QQ, DAA indecision candlestick. And IWM, I actually do think this one is not looking too bad. All right, there's that. All right, so we went over the indices. Let's get right into the 10 setups that we have laid out for this week. All right, the first one is going to be Nvidia. Let me pull up my watch list. Let me just make sure I have the right levels we're paying attention to. All right, Nvidia, we are looking for an hourly close underneath 453.50. Now let's go down to the hourly time frame. Let's show you guys why that's significant. All right, you guys see the level right here? I got an alert on that level. We're looking for a close. Let's see if I have the right alert. Once per bar close. Yes. All right, so looking for a cross down, all right, or a close down underneath 453.50. Why? Because you haven't had that hourly close under that level this whole time. And if you do that from a daily chart perspective, you have absolutely nothing until you come down and fill that gap. So that is going to be a very sexy short, in my personal opinion. Probably going to happen within one day. You're probably going to get something like, boom, you lost the support right there. All right, that's what we were paying attention to on the channel. All right, you lost it. Point out there's no support for another like 10 to 15 bucks down. One day. All right, $15 low. Right, so that is definitely, on top watch for me. It's going to remain Nvidia. I understand premiums are expensive, but I am this is one that I personally will very likely pull the trigger on if we do see this hourly close or a move down to there. All right, that is that. Now it is a beast, so keep that in mind, but it is pretty sexy in the fact that it goes like level to level very nicely. All right, so that is that. Next one we are paying attention to is over here on Mara, M-A-R-A, calls above 1054. See, we got the support going on over here. This is actually where you broke out from. You got this little rectangle going on over here. So this is the level I found with the most touch points here. You can do it a little lower. Go right about right there, right? So calls off that level, but I ended up picking this one just because this has this touch point right there. All right, and as you see, this is where we prevented a daily close underneath over there. So if we do end up, just dancing around this level, I think it's likely that we form a base around this level. All right, on the hourly time frame, you will want to see something like this pop up. You want a lower high, and then you want to, a safe long. You're going to want to go off of the break up. That's when you're basing. Like look over here. This is actually a very perfect example. So Mara was actually on the weekly watch list 2 weeks ago. Congrats to anybody who did end up taking the play off of literally this going on right here. You had the bullish divergence. You literally got a chance to buy it right off of right off your support here, and then you had an absolute sick nasty run. All right, so 1050 all the way up to 13 bucks. Am I mistaken? Is that a 30% move we ended up having on our watch list 2 weeks ago? Nice. All right, do we have something similar around the corner? I got no idea. All right, but what I'm saying right now completely stands. All right, it's the same thing we saw before. This was your confirmation before. I understand you're buying into a lot of green here, but guess what? What does this do? It gives you a high, a high or low, and then you break that high, and then you have your hourly trend change. Right, so that's like, if you want to play these things safe, that's what you're waiting for. But the level to do so off of, the level we're really watching to hold, is going to be all the way down here at 1054. Doesn't mean you have to take a trade off of that, but that is what I am paying attention to. AI is the next one on our watch list. Let's come over to AI. I do want to point out, it's the same thing, guys. You want to see this basing happen. I want to personally see this level reclaimed right here. All right, this 280.77, that was the low of this candlestick right here. All right, nope, this one right here. All right, there we go. 28.77, you could see this is where sellers start stepping in. All right, it was a little above there. Regardless, this is the level that I will be paying attention to. I will be bullish above this level. And what do I also like about if you come up to this level? Well, it's the same thing I was just talking about over on the last one. You're going to have a base. You have your low, you have your high. That's your higher low compared to over here, right? So you have a high, low, higher high, and then you're going to have a higher low. So if you break up through here, I understand you're missing out 28 bucks, miss out on like $1. Who cares? All right. What that's going to signify is that you have this exact thing that we are paying attention to, this base. That is why it doesn't matter if you're buying into this big green candlestick. All right, it's 29.69. You ended up running to 31.50. All right, you're playing weekly contracts because the move probably brought you at 100 to 200%. I actually do know AI premiums are more expensive than they should, so maybe maybe that was close to $100. All right, AI is kind of crazy. Regardless, that is exactly what you're paying attention to. I will also set an alert for that level as well. All right, let's just do no, we'll just do it once. All right, we'll do it once, and then yeah, BA, that is the next one we're going to be paying attention to. I am going to point out BA's daily RSI is approaching oversold, and I'm just going to say right now, I don't think we are going to come into deeply oversold area territory like we did over here. I think it's very likely going to be stuff like that. All right, regardless, all right, I am looking for a recovery over here on BA. You did break out from your consolidation from a weekly perspective. I really do not think this move is just over. I understand you have completely cooled off here. You've came back to the breakout level, but I'm going to say I do not think this is done. I really don't. All right, you have actually cooled off quite a bit here. You have a lot of upside left over here on BA if you want to just even come back to the structure that was left behind over here. All right, but the level that I am picking to go at things is this one right here, guys. You have to see this level hold. If it doesn't hold, that's when, yeah, guys, all right? If you enter calls off this level, hey, you see, like, let's look on the hourly time frame, all right? You see an hourly close under that level, you might as well just get out, all right? Because the next level underneath there is going to be all the way down here at 208. And if you're in weeklies, or I could tell you right now, all right, going from here to here, that is going to bring you down like 40 to 50%, and that would suck. All right, now if you're gonna do what I'm gonna do, all right, and you're gonna buy some time, then that's probably gonna be fine. All right, but regardless, that is a level to be risking going into this week, and I do think we are going to have a decent ass recovery over here on BA in the coming weeks. All right, you could see it was literally just at 230. Now it's all the way down at 211, as you see. All right, we started off the week last week. Well, it was Friday. You had this big recovery candlestick. We were paying attention to that. And then we were going to be bullish. I think we picked 223.91. Above there, we were looking for 230 to be hit. Yes, we could look over SOXS after these. All right, but you got a $7 move last week to literally do that. Was that last week? Was that last week? Or that was... No, never mind. 2 weeks ago, all right? So it wasn't last week. It was 2 weeks ago it was on there. All right, but I think we're probably at least going to get something similar to this. All right? So, like, if you have 2 contracts, you got 3 contracts, scale out. You got 3, and you see a $5 move in your direction, get out of 2 of them and let the third one ride. All right? That's how I would treat this play. All right, next one we got going on is J&J, and I am going to point out the level is 157.60, and we are, just as I was pointing out on BA, the RSI is oversold. So I do think, hey, if buyers want to step up, it's going to be right here, and we're probably going to get a decent recovery all the way back up here to 164ish. That is the point when it's a decent rebound right there, right? But I do want to see, I would want to risk off of this level, so I wouldn't take it up here. I'm just going to say that right now. So let me just put alert on that level as well. All right, I don't want to see a close under. I want to see just a crossing, come down. Maybe we get a double bottom like over here you see on the hourly chart. I'm just going to say that I do like this chart as it stands right now on the hourly time frame. This thing has a pretty sexy setup. All right, I think we're going to immediately see a rebound in this one. So like either way, if you want, keep it on your radar. You just broke out from this inverse head and shoulders formation. If you break above right here, what did we just go over about that base? All right, you're going to have a low, you're going to have a high, you're going to have a higher low, and boom, you break out to a higher high. That is the point when you're buying into strength. This is confirmation right there. That is when you know strength is entering this stock. Buyers are behind this stock. Until that happens, I don't care about this bullish structure you got going on. You want to see something change. You want to see your proof of concept that the buyers are in control, because that you need to see it. All right, so that is that one. All right, I just moved my zone. Holy freaking crap. All right, J&J, the next one, PFE. I do like this one. I will remind everyone, this thing is a freaking, it could be a monster, but it could be a monster in both directions, all right? This thing is like, this thing faked everybody out up here, all right? Now, okay, I didn't get caught too bad in this thing, all right? But like, hey, all right, you got the big breakout from this big falling wedge that's going on, and it went nowhere, all right? It went nowhere. It actually came down to a new low. Your weekly RSI is almost back down to oversold territory. It's at 34, so I think I'm going to probably start taking a dated position on this one. All right, I think I am going to start doing that. I'm going to keep the positions light until I like what I see on the indices. I just think that's the way to go about things. I'm just going to let everybody know that. Just because the indices are kind of in a, like I pointed out, you know what to do, like on the upside, all right, you know what to do on the downside, but it's not like back here when I was saying, hey, I think it's time to, hey, if you were waiting for your buy the dip opportunity, I think we're getting that perfect opportunity. That's what I was saying down here. Guess what? It did turn into that. I wish I listened to myself more than people on Twitter, but there's that. Your boy will not have that problem anymore. You guys follow a bunch of perma bears on Twitter too that continuously just psych you out? Because I had it this time around. Normally I'm really good. If you've been with me for quite some time, I'm pretty good at timing reversals. It's kind of I don't want to call it my specialty, but I will definitely tell you, all right, I'm pretty decent at up here 460, guys. That was literally the level we were looking for sellers to prevail. All right, you see this supply zone up there? Nailed the top on that one. All right, we knew we were breaking down right here. We knew we were looking for more downside, at least over here. All right, people could have safely been playing this move right here. All right, did I play it? No. All right, and just again, noise. But then guess what? We got the dip. We got the big dip, and then I was like, hey guys, all right, all daily RSIs, they're hella oversold at this current point in time. We even have Apple doing the same thing. We had Tesla, guys. By the way, Tesla. All right, we're gonna have to talk about that. All right, but beast of a setup going on over here, and then you also have some news to go with that. All right, so Ford did or no, wait, let me read this tweet real quick. Let me just read it to you guys, and we can move on. All right. Breaking news: Honda Motor Co. Ltd. today announced that it has reached an agreement with Tesla Incorporated to adopt Tesla's North American chain charging standard, NACS, for the charging port of its EV models that will go on sale in North America starting from 2025. This includes one of Tesla's supercharging stations. In 2025, Honda is planning to launch a new EV model in North America equipped with NACS port. From that point forward, Honda will continue adopting NACS standards for its models. All right, guys. So also, the 2024 Honda Prologue will initially feature combined charging system CCS charging ports Customers will be able to utilize the Tesla supercharger network using NACS adapter plugs in the future. So regardless, guys, partnership or an agreement, whatever we want to call this thing, between Ford and Tesla, or not Ford and Tesla, Honda. Ford announced pretty much the same thing a while back, and I remember Tesla went nuts. I think that was around this time right here. I'm just going to say right here, first of all, VPA, volume profile, volume price analysis. Let's work that into our analysis right here, guys. Right here, our heavily traded zone that we got to break above. It's right here. I pointed this out in the weekly update. Right here where you have all this volume. If you break above, it's probably going to go a little crazy. You're probably going to see a big green bar like this, probably up to here. All right, I'm not saying you're going to have one big green day, right? But definitely have Tesla on the watch list. I'll be watching this week. I likely will trade calls this week. I really want to trade calls over here. I did trade a call over here. I got faked out, and the call would have ran like 300 to 400% the next day. It was tight, but yeah, I think we got another opportunity at that one right now. I think the art size probably, now that we're like, you know, having a full scale recovery here, I think we're probably going to see it reach overbought, and that probably comes with this breakout here up to this golden pocket, anywhere from 266 to 281. So something to keep on your radar. All right, but back to what we were talking about. I think we are on PFE. All right, PFE, what I like about it, the daily RSI is getting down to the same spot it's been bouncing in. All right, can you go further down? Yes. All right, I think you are likely to start getting your bounce, though. You do see buyers are stepping in here. You have two doji candlesticks back to back. You have a small wick left on this big red-bodied candlestick. All right, so we do know buyers are stepping up. All right, you do have this heavy volume, though. I don't like that, but you also had heavy volume here, and that actually marked your bottom. So, you know, I guess it's not the worst in the world, all right? Regardless, I like the setup. We do have this trend line to be paying attention to. Let's actually see if we could do that. Wow, look at that. All right, guys, so should we say screw the rising wedge or the falling wedge? Should we not pay attention? You've literally came down and undercut the low from it. I'm going to say screw this giant beast of a rising wedge or a falling wedge. I was so excited for you, and you broke my heart. All right, so now let's clean up our chart. Let's go like that. All right. All right, so above 34.40. So pretty much above the high of this candlestick, 34.39. All right, on the hourly time frame, though, you guys can see a better picture here. That is what we're paying attention to. You can really make it right here, 34.39. If you break above, same thing I was pointing out, the basing. All right, you're going to have a triple bottom going on here. I know there's actually three there. You're going to have a triple bottom. You're going to break out above that. And what is that going to do? You have an equivalent low on two of these lows here. All right, let's delete a lot of these arrows. Let's make it really simple. All right, double bottom, neckline, breakout, maybe a back test, and you're off for the races. Boom, boom, bob, bing, boom, pow. And for those of you with small accounts, like really small accounts, guess what? And what do I consider a small account? I'm going to say anything under, we'll call it, I want to say $10,000 to $15,000. That's like the top end of your small account. If you get your account up to 20, 25K, we'll call it like, you know, you're good. All right. And then when I say really small accounts, I'm going to say, talking for those of you like, you know, 3,000 or under, I guess we could call it like that. All right, guess what, guys? All right, cheap ass premiums, and like you guys will see common themes here on the channel, guys. I got you with the Nvidia, I got you with the Teslas, the thing with the expensive premiums, but then I got you with things like PFE and Ford, the things with cheap premiums. BA is a little juiced premiums as well. AI and Mara, juiced premiums as well. All right. But PFE, if you want cheap premiums, this is one that you could play. All right. Regardless, I mean, all of these should honestly be fitting everyone. All right. Everyone should be able to, I do think everyone should at least have like $1,000 account, so you can risk, like, you could buy $100 contract. You can have that be 10% of your capital. All right, and there you go. Whatever your risk may be, let's say like your levels will get you out at a 30% loss. Now you're only taking a 3% loss on each trade, something like that. All right, you need to have some sort of system to work off of. All right, but yeah, all these tickers really should work with that system, is what I'm getting at. So I hope you guys are enjoying what we're doing here. Yeah, because I mean, I enjoy doing these setups anyway. I would literally be doing them anyway. We might as well do a live stream and cover them. All right. But yeah, PFE guys, that is what I'm liking. Why do I like it so much? You have absolutely nothing until you come all the way up here. So if you break above here, guys, you will have this little resistance that's like 20 cents up. But guess what? You have a whole dollar of upside. And like I said, cheap ass premiums. So I bet 2 weeks out is probably 2 weeks out at the money is probably like 30 cents, maybe 40 cents. I'm not sure off the top of my head. All right. We're not going to pull up Weevil, but that's the idea behind this one. All right, break above here, you break your base, break your double bottom, and you got nothing for a dollar. That should give you a couple 100% on short dated contracts right there. And then if you want to swing them with a month on them, you'll still probably get like 50 to 100% on it. There you go. All right, next one, RCL, Royal Caribbean Cruises Ltd. One day, NYSE. All right. So we have this support going on right here, and you can very, very, very easily tell that buyers are stepping up right here. You see like 4 massive lower wicks going on here. I understand you get this big upper one too, but you could see this hammer candlestick right here, this candle right here. Guess what? All right. That was the first sign that your buyers started stepping in. What happened on that candlestick? You had that increasing volume. So I do like what I'm seeing down here with the volume. I like what I'm seeing with these wicks. So we know the volume is supporting what's going on up here. We know the buyers are stepping in. Boom, bop, bing, boop, pow. All right. This thing actually also does have a bit of a, you know, a little pattern going on there, right? A little pennant slash wedge, whatever you want to call this thing. All right. So if you want to draw a downtrend, you could really have something like that. You could be paying attention to that, but you come down to the hourly time frame, guys. What are you really looking for here? Looking for a break over this high. All right. And what is that going to do? That's going to be your double bottom neckline, guys. I love these. All right. China reopens tonight since their markets were closed on Friday from extreme weather. I actually don't care where we go from here. I don't care. I really don't. I think we're going to continue moving up, but I still am completely open to the idea that we're going to be moving down. All right. Until like we break above here, I still think like, hey, all right, this is Bear's last stand. If Bears want to push this down for just a retracement, it's going to be done right here in the golden pocket. It's not going to take place above that golden pocket. It's going to be done here. Look at it like this. All right. Let's just look at this. All right. You ran like over here. All right. Guess what? Why did you gap through the golden pocket? Because they didn't want it to just be a freaking retracement, all right? Yeah, you had this double top, but you're not even going to want to play the double top because guess what? The double top signifies strength. You getting back up to where you sold off from signifies strength. So that means dips are very likely just going to be bought up anyway. So who cares? All right? And then like, look at this. I got something for you. Let's just look at where you had price react to your 50% retracement. You never broke the 0.786 fib, which would have signified that you're probably not going to be running up. But since like we have this bullish price action, excuse me, it was raining, so I ate earlier. I normally just fast all day, but yeah, I ended up eating because I was like, well, I can't go on my freaking hike, so I was like, might as well just start eating early, start eating my meals. But like, no, then it stopped raining, guys. No, we're gonna go on our hike after this. Shout out to you guys if you also go on long hikes every day with your pups. It is a blast. Love my pups. And Mike is feeling better. If anybody was wondering, no one's probably wondering, but Mike is feeling 100% better. Back to beating the shit out of her sis, and I am back to having entertainment on my hikes. For a while there, Josie just kept trying to beat up Micah, and then Micah would squeal, and I'd have to step in as dad. Like, Josie, stop that. Stop that. But now, it's beautiful. It's a blast again. All right. But yeah, guys, all right. If you come back up here, expect rejection, because if you do break through it, you're probably not, you're not going to be coming back down here. All right. So like I am 100% serious on that. Last stand for sellers up here. All right. Same on QQ. Last stand for sellers. It's literally right here. I can show you guys that fib as well. All right. It's right there on the gap fill. If you break above 381, you get a daily close above the level. It's wraps for sellers. All right. I don't care if you come up here for a double. I guarantee it, guys. I guarantee it. If you see this exact price action, you see price come right up here. You're going to see so many double tops on Twitter and YouTube. And I'm going to sit there saying, screw all those perma bears that are calling for the double tops. The fact you returned up here actually gives you, actually, let's look at this. How about that, huh? How about the inverse head and shoulders formation that's queuing up right now? I didn't even notice that until right now. Look at that. So yeah, what as every perma bear on Twitter and known to man is going to be calling for this double top, your boy is going to be calling for, guess what? Break and retest, baby. You had this resistance. You're going to retest the resistance, and we're going to buy that. All right. And then if it goes a little lower, we're going to buy this right here. All right. You had this. This was your resistance. You broke it. All right. Let's see if we can reclaim it. I know there's so many drawings there, right? But yeah, guys, point is, you break above here, you're probably just going to do this. Boom. All right. And people are going to think it's somehow going to go like that. But like, does that make sense? No, just follow the structure. You have these higher highs, higher lows. All right. Just follow what is going on. Because if you don't, you're going to be lost in the sauce. All right. And your boy over here, I got the sauce, but it's not going to be the bad sauce. I got the good hot sauce over here for you guys. I got you, buddies. I got you. DXY at 10 years still getting hotter too. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that. What is it? TNX. That's the ticker. I was blanking last week. I got you guys this week, right? Next one, Shop. All right. Shop. I didn't want to say I like this one, but I do like this one. All right. You have heavy volume on this breakout. I know. All right. There was news that came out this morning. It was heavily supported by news. All right. But guess what? You did end up seeing it regardless, and then you're pulling back, and you're probably, now that you're here, you're probably going to retest this level, the breakout level, which was 61.25. That was the open of this candlestick. That's where I got this level from. All right, you can, and then also the high of this candlestick was 61.18. So I mean, it's around this level. It's not going to be exact, but regardless, you see where I drew the zero right here. I started it on this day because it was right at resistance. It was like, you know, very likely, again, going to see this break and retest, guys. It's the simplest strategy. It happens with the double bottom. It happens with the cup and handle. It happens with the inverse head and shoulders formation. Just literally watch for the break and retest, and your charting / trading is going to change. I can guarantee that. Just stop sitting there trying to learn new strategy. Just pay attention. Sorry, they're going nuts. Probably the freaking mail guy or something. I don't know. 4:20 p.m. Happy stoner day to any stoners. I don't know. Can you take a look at ADSK? Yes, I could take a look at some ADSK, broski. I got you. But yeah, retest off the 61.25. That's the level you are risking off of, and you were looking at something like this. Taking your long off that level, you're going to risk this zone under here because, as you see, that's the zone. All right, you get under here, and you really can do it right here. We can actually just screw it and put the gap. All right, so you could actually have the gap as your entry or the breakout level. It's up to you. All right, the gap obviously is going to be a better entry, but the breakout level, I have no guarantee that gap's going to fill. All right, high 60.03. All right, right there. Then again, we have no guarantee that this level is going to hold either. That's just the art of trading. All right, so we could see that. We could see this. Regardless, I would be doing something like that. All right, and then you're playing for move back up here. All right, so there's your 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio right there. Break and retest, sexy setup known to man. There you go. Snow was one we were paying attention to. This is on the watch list somewhere over here. I don't remember when it was, but it was on the watch list. All right, why? I think it was because we literally came down here and we were right off of support. See, guys, we have these watch lists, and then I honestly, I do forget to pay attention to so many of these, and then some of them always, like the last few weeks at least, some of them have popped off every single week. Like this week we had a few of them popping off. Go look at the last one. The week before that was the same. The week before that was the same. All right, your boy is just like getting too lost in the sauce, too distracted. That's why I deleted everyone on Twitter. I don't want to pay attention to anything else but what I got going on. I want nothing anymore. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, eh? All right. No, though, I really do like this. And what are we looking for, guys? What are we looking for? All right, we're looking for the break and retest. There we go. All right, so you're looking for a break and retest off this 159.95 level right here. There's the high of this. Maybe it was this candlestick. Where was it? All right, maybe I have the, oh, it was the high of this candlestick. I'm bugging. All right, so you're looking for a retest of where you broke out from. You had a heavy gap up from this level right here, 159.95. If we do get the retest, I think it's highly likely that you do end up seeing buyers step in at that level, and then we carry on at least back up to this high, if not back up to the next resistance at 172. So if you do get to play this, guys, that is a $12 move over here. No contracts, they're on the expensive side. I will tell you right now, I don't even know if I'm going to touch this thing, because like, you know, like they're probably going to be like $300 per like a good contract. And this is not, we're not talking 2 weeks out. We're talking a weekly. Snow is too expensive for like, that's why I was pointing out what I did earlier with the small account things. If you do have that small account we were talking about, focus on not tickers like this. All right. If you have an account from like 10 to 15K, you're on the upper side of that small account we were talking about. Guess what? That's when it's fair game for these tickers, because you can risk 300 on a contract and it won't make or break you. It won't. All right. But if you're on the smaller end, no, you don't want to be doing that. All right. It's going to be too volatile. Your emotions are going to get involved. And like, you know, you might as well just not. There's plenty of other setups that we will be pointing out. But Snow. All right, guys, you come back here. We are looking for a move. We're going to see what candlestick pops up like that. But let's say it's something like that. All right. You're looking for a move back up there. There's your 3-to-1. There's actually almost 5-to-1. All right, but that is Snow. XLE. XLE actually comes with Oxy and ZOM. All right, so we will take a look at Oxy and ZOM after this. ZOM, I don't mean ZOM, I mean XOM. All right, Exxon. All right, but XLE, I do want to point out your daily RSI is at the same spot where the past 1, 2, 3, 4, and hopefully now going to be 5. All right, so the past 4 times over the since June of 2022. And do you guys know what caused this run that you just like kept going up and up and up? It was news related. We don't have that right now. All right, we just don't have that. I know there was something recently that went on, but I remember this. All right, and this was crazy euphoria. Oil was going way higher. All right, all-time highs incoming. It never happened. All right, it never happened. We can actually come over that. I know I got it charted. All right, that is the wrong chart. Nope, it's not the wrong chart. I swear I had this fully charted. Maybe it was on a different layout. I don't know. Let's look on this one. Oh, what happened? I swear I looked at it and I was like, holy Henry, you were charting it up. Maybe I was looking at a different ticker. Oh, no, maybe it was this one. All right. Yeah, look, guys, look at this. So this was my TA, like, you know, a year ago. This was literally, no, not a year ago. This was like, I remember starting these drawings, all right? We were following this thing literally, you know, over a year ago, almost 2 years now, all right? So this is like evolution, guys. The more you chart, the more you do things. It's like really why I won this YouTube channel. I really just wanted to guarantee I would be making progress every single year, all right? And I mean, I could definitely say that is what has happened so far, all right? But yeah, you had the sexy ass, as you can see, pennant / falling wedge going on over here. All right, you broke out and you went on this one crazy rip. All right, I still think, you know, oil's probably not done yet, but I don't think we're just going to go absolutely bananas without respecting, like we were over here. I don't think we're going to do this again, where it's just, you know, it is the trade of the season. I don't think that's about to be the case, which is why XLE, I'm calling for a short here. We are on a different freaking layout. Let me just change back over to my layout. All right, XLE right there. That was actually my thumbnail layout. I do that because I get rid of this line right here and this thing right here, and the colors are slightly different. I think they pop a little more. Regardless, all right. Yes, we will damn right go over Tesla. All right, we did already go over Tesla, but I'll go over it again. All right, because I do think it's going to be. I don't want to say it's going to be the trade of the week, but it's probably going to be the trade of the week. It's probably going to be like something. If you get in, like your weeklies, you're probably hitting like 400 or 500% this week. All right. Now, I'm just going to say right now, if you're not already in, you're probably getting a sick, nasty gap up, and premiums are going to go crazy anyway. So maybe you're not going to want to trade it. All right. But it's in like currently a really sexy flag, just like we called that over here. It was on the watch list over here. We were looking for the break and retest. We ended up getting it, and your boy got faked out. But now we have the same setup, just bigger. And now you have a news catalyst with Ford. All right, let me just go over that again with you. All right, Tesla now has an agreement with Honda. All right, over here with Ford. I know I just said the wrong names over there. Ford was somewhere along this run. I believe they announced an agreement, the same agreement with these superchargers. Let me just read the thing I just read. All right, here we go. We'll paraphrase here, or we'll just go skim through it. Breaking news: Honda Motor Co. Ltd. today announced that it has reached agreement with Tesla Incorporated to adopt Tesla's North American charging standard for the charging port of EV models that will go on sale in North America starting in 2025. This includes use of Tesla's supercharging stations. So they're pretty much, they're saying like, hey, you guys can use that, we could use yours, and like we're also going to use your design and technology. I think if I'm reading that right, all right. So Ford did that. Stock went crazy. Honda now did it. Honda has more, all right, more cars on the street than Ford. They would be offering more to Tesla than Ford. And then there you go. Boom. Stock goes crazy. All right. I'm not saying it does that. All right. We're going to see. I think you're probably going to get into this golden pocket. I think you're probably going to have another day like this. See, that's 7% there. I think you're probably going to get something like that. Maybe it's on Monday. All right. But also look at this. All right, guys. You broke out. You got a chance to buy this thing after the breakout. We were looking for the retest. You literally did end up retesting the level we were paying attention to, which was right over here. I remember it was like 240 or something like that. You got the retest and you exploded. If you don't gap up, don't think this thing is a dead dog. All right. I'm just letting you get, AMD is still a beast. All right. It's still a freaking beast. Don't think this thing is a dead dog if it doesn't go absolutely gap up 5%. All right. Even if it gaps up 5%, you're probably going to keep going with this news. All right. But let's say you don't gap up and it's just like maybe a little gap up and you start selling off. Sell off equal buying opportunity. Your boy's going to buy the dip. I will. All right. So there will be that. All right. Moving on, though. Let's get back into this trade idea. XLE. All right. You do have your RSI all the way up here. I am talking, hey, in the money contracts are not too expensive over here. We are looking for a move down to support over here at 90.67. All right. I'm talking you can get, let me just look at these prices right now on my phone. All right. I got you. XLE. All right. Let's just take a gander right here. All right. We have XLE. September 15 puts. All right. I'm talking you could buy a 93 put, $1 in the money with 30 cents. So it's pricing in a 30-cent move. So as long as you get over that, you're completely good. You're not getting any crush over here on this. This is a weekly contract, $1 in the money, $1.40 it's going for right now. All right. That is pretty darn stankin' low. Let's say you want to give yourself time, September 29th. All right, what are we looking for now? $92 contract, right there out the money. 5 cents out the money, going for $179. What is a $2 in the money contract going for? Okay, that's actually not the biggest gain over here if you go in 2 weeks out. $275. All right, so you're in it for like a 50% gain. That actually wouldn't be the most. I'm not gonna lie. All right, but I am just probably gonna be taking a weekly off this if I do decide to do so. Regardless, I think this thing does end up pulling back before going higher, and it's probably going to. It already did a break and retest right here. And again, like I said earlier, guys, get rid of all the other strats. Just focus on the break and retest. If you ain't got one that's been working, I can tell you right now, there's one strategy that I have seen prevail over all others, and it's the break and retest. All right, it happens too often to just be ignored. All right, you have this going on right here as well. All right, like what do you have right here? All right, you got this level. Oh, boom, broken. Retest, you had at least a little bounce. All right, they're everywhere. You always get the retest. Not always, but like a lot of the times you get the retest. Henry, my boy, can we look at Oracle and CBRL? Oracle, yes. Oracle, I think, was actually on my watch list a while back, and I stopped looking at it. Even if it wasn't on the watch list, I was watching it, and then it exploded on me. Let's actually look at that one right now. I was hella tight on this. Yeah, I was hella tight over here, dude. Oh, yeah. I remember this one. It came right down to support. It's freaking stack of potatoes to your boy over here, man. It was the time I was skeptical about longs because of the crap I was seeing on Twitter. And I'm like, this thing looks like it's probably going to be a big winner. All right. And as you guys see, this thing was a big winner. All right. Regardless, yeah, you see, I've been tracking this thing, all right? I've been tracking it. You ended up getting the breakout. That was something I missed out on. You get the retest right here. That was something I missed out on. It's just because your boy's trigger shy. It's just that there are tickers you can play every day. Yeah, honestly, I'd say Nvidia and Tesla are the only ones that I am really, Nvidia specifically. I've been scalping Nvidia contracts. I even did it this week at the start of the week. Even when the premiums were expensive, I was like, you know what, this is not so bad. And yeah, the premiums are expensive, but dude, the guys, I swear, Nvidia moves so clean. It really does. Like, you could call it fake outs. I say we have such clean level to level price action over here that it's ridiculous. All right, ridiculous. You take a support play, right? You take a breakout play right here above your. This is your resistance. Up to the next resistance, going from 470-ish all the way up to 480. That's a $10 move to be played. All right, you break through support right here. Guess what? You have another $10 move to be played. Boom. All right, like so many. Yeah, Nvidia trade week and my levels are to the tick, so I get trigger happy there. Yeah, like I'm serious. They're so clean. You can chart this thing so easily. But like I was saying, if you're with the on the small end of the small account, then I mean, there's really nothing you could really do about these things, because then you're just going to get IV crushed if you try playing way out the money. All right, but come back over to XLE, guys. All right, you have an inverted hammer candlestick. If you would like to take a short off of that candlestick, there you go. All right, I don't know how we're like, if you're going to gap down or anything. Let's just say you don't. You're risking the high of that. You can even risk the top of that. All right, but you could be playing for move down here. That's, absolute shit risk to reward. Or you could be playing for a bigger pullback. I think we're probably going to get a bigger pullback. Probably the RSI is going to cool off just like it did over here. Let's see how far you fell over here. About $4. How far are we talking down here? Just about $4. All right. But regardless, I think at least we get a move down to here. Now, that does align with these other names. All right. Oxy. Oxy's one that I wouldn't be shorting Oxy. Oxy was one I wanted to short right here. Well, I did end up shorting up there. That did end up playing out. I think I'm pretty sure I sold on this first day, though. I didn't wait for that. All right. But yeah, that was the zone you want to touch off of Oxy. And then you come over here to ZOM. ZOM is actually on an absolute tear right here. And I think it's probably going to have another green day, but I think it's probably going to stall out after that and probably revisit where it broke out from. So you can see where my arrow is drawn. I drew it on this day right here. All right. 112. We're currently at 115. So that is something to keep on your radar. I'm not going to give you an exact setup to pay attention to over here like we have on some of these other ones. But if you want to take a safe, short over here, I'm just going to say, all right, this thing doesn't look inherently bearish. It's literally like a cool down play. To really see this thing give back some of this move here, we're talking, you break under here, 115.40-ish. That's where on the hourly chart, you've kind of based around there. If you can break above, then hey, guys, bets are off. Don't be playing this. You got this rectangle going on. You break the upside of the rectangle. Don't play short side. Do not do it. You're gonna hurt yourself. All right, but yeah, if you break down under there, you're probably having, it's like a 75-cent move right there. But if you do that and you don't find buyers here, that's when you risk like unwinding this whole move. All right, because like we can clearly see this is where our previous base was that we launched off of. All right, so if you don't find buyers coming in at the high of that, which is going to be like somewhere over here, if you don't find buyers there, like guys, you're probably coming all the way down here. And if you come down here, you're probably going to just start taking out these levels, come back to 112, right? So the target is going to be 112. I do think you get a bit of a pullback here. It can be a deeper pullback. I don't think it's going to be. I think oil is going to continue going on a tear. But I don't think it's just going to go absolutely bananas like it did in 2022. I just don't. But yeah, I don't want to short this. I'm going to be straight up, right? Like I did, but this thing does look like a monster. It's definitely it was the same thing I was just pointing out over on XLE, which I would personally be taking XLE with the weeklies, just going $1 in the money. That's what, if I trade these, I'm going to do that 110%. That is my move. I'm going to come over here to XLE. We're going to go with the 93 put for this Friday. And that's how we're going to play it. All right. I don't have, any desire to buy time on this thing. You're in and out on this. That's it. All right. Let's start covering some of these tickers. Let's start off with AMD, SQ, Apple, and Nvidia. We went over Nvidia. Let's go over AMD. All right. AMD, still a freaking monster. All right. I wanted to put it on the watch list. I just didn't know a level I really want to do that. There's not really a level being respected here other than this one. And, that's a ways away. So you're probably not going to be getting that this week unless we see a really bullish week. So we're going to have to see it regardless. You're just really waiting on a breakout. You're waiting on this. Put this, do what I do here, right? Put this pattern here, put this trend line down here, put this trend line up here, then come over here, click that button, and you're going to set up an alert and you're going to hit once per bar close. All right. You want to see, when you see a daily close over that, guys, I'm just going to go long. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm just literally going to freaking go long. Or I'm going to go long on this dip here because Excuse me. That's why I don't eat during the day, guys. I swear. You get the hiccups or something. You just unfortunate. Plus, I just don't get hungry. I've been on like Concerta for like years at this point, and it just literally makes it so like you're not hungry. I'm sorry if you've been looking at the side of my tickers the whole time. I did not know it was like that. But yeah. If anybody else takes ADHD meds, you know what I'm talking about. Your appetite is just gonna be suppressed. But that's why I normally just fast, and it's perfectly fine. And then I've been chewing mastic gum for like 4 hours, at least 4 hours a day for about a month and a half now, and guys, I'm serious. My jaw, like within like 2 weeks, you're gonna notice your jaw is just much stronger. All right, much like normal gum is. It's just gonna feel like paper. It's gonna feel so. It's like I'm pretty sure it's like 10x stronger gum. So if you're trying to work on a jawline, all right, there you go. That's probably if you're like leaning out and like you want to, bring your best form. There you go. That's something that'll help. But also, if you just are, struggling, maybe you got cravings and you're trying to go on a diet or something. Yes way. Yes way. Don't say no way. Yes, I swear to God. All right. This gum is actually really cool. Now it's flavorless, so that is a thing. I don't think they make flavored mastic gum, but it's 10 times stronger. It does not. I shit you not. For hours, it doesn't, like, you know how normal gum not only lose the flavor, but then it also just gets super soft, and it's like, why am I even chewing that? Let me get a different piece of gum. Well, this one never stops. You could chew it for probably days. And I don't know what gives it that quality, but maybe I'm chewing on rubber. I have no idea, but I will say I have enjoyed it. All right. Well, also, it's just something to do, All right. Let's get back into the charts, though. All right. Sorry, I talked about mastic gum. Yeah, you're waiting for a breakout. Just literally put an alert right here. Put it for a bar close above here, and that's when you take a dated swing trade over, or it could be a short dated one. All right. I would use date on it, but also I would be buying the dip. All right. I'm just saying, do you see how I got this alert? Let me bring this up. Maybe I'll start that position a little sooner. If I get that chance, I'm taking it. And I'm also going to point this out right here. Boom. Boom. But maybe this dip is just a right shoulder for this head and shoulders formation right here. Inverse head and shoulders. All right. So I'm just going to say right now, this thing is just a monster. Load the dips. All right. Buy the breakout. If you get the daily close above, that's my plan. And I'm not giving any financial advice, but that is personally what I will be doing. So there's that. Next one we'll take a look at is SQ. SQ has been going in the shitter. That was actually on the watch list for a break and retest of this level right here. That was last week. All right. You did end up right early off the week. You did end up retesting this level, and you could have longed that level. And I was looking for 60 to be reached. You did not. All right. But if you were playing weeklies, you did get over 100% there anyway, so it didn't matter. All right. SQ's one I was literally going to buy, and then I saw it take off and I was like, oh, gosh darn, dude. So many I'm just trigger shy. And then I see it and I'm like, oh, Jesus. Why did you do this? Why? Regardless, guys, all right? You gave it all back and more, and now you're just sitting there in the dump. I am going to point out what you're looking for over here in SQ. I know maybe it's repetitive. Well, not maybe. It's definitely repetitive. The base formation, all right? You got this double bottom. That's your neckline. You break 53.50-ish. The high of this candlestick was 53.51. You break 53.51. You got nothing until all the way up there at 55 bucks. So that's what you're playing for. You're going to play weeklies, or you're going to play a week out, and you're going to literally be playing right there. There's your 100% gainer right there for you. Right there. Now, you're going to scale out at this level. Maybe you do it and you're pissed off at Henry because you're like, oh, no, it ran another freaking $3 at me. What the heck, Henry? But guess what? Why do you scale out this level? All right, you get 3 contracts. Why do you sell 2 at this level and one ride and only one ride? Because you're going to just be back testing previous support that now should be resistance. So support here, support here, support here, support here. Resistance. All right. So naturally, until price decides to prove it to us, just like we take it level by level, looking at the indices on the on our YouTube channel, on our daily and weekly updates, we do the same thing over here. You expect rejection from this level before price proves it. If price proves it and does something like this, so we break above this, probably going to get a break and retest off that level. All right, maybe you get something like that. That's when you can safely long this and use that as your risk level. And, you know, the odds are in your favor. Why are the odds in your favor? Because you have now been shown that this is not going to be a supply zone. All right, if this were to get rejection out of this spot right here, if we were to see rejection from this zone right here, we know that there's going to be a sell side imbalance, which tells us there is sell orders there, not buy orders, sell orders. But if you get above it, if price even gets above this level, that is when you know you have more buy orders than sell orders. So the supply zone isn't even a freaking supply zone. It's a demand zone. All right. So now if you break above it right here, you're going to know bullish. All right. You're bullish on this name. You get the retest. You now know, since you got above here, there's no sell orders here in this zone. We know there's buy orders. So you get the retest. It's going to be a demand zone. And then you're going up from there. That's with all likelihood. That's like, those are your odds if you get this kind of setup. That's just literally the psychology behind this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, 55 is also going to be a big one as well. All right. We can very clearly see this was a level that was respected over here. All right, I can guarantee you're going to have some sort of battle going on right here, right? So whether that's an impulsive buy from that level or impulsive, like, you know, you're giving back the whole move, the recovery here, and then boom, you come down to a new low. Yeah, I want to learn how to read the tape. I like, you know, I know how to do so, but I'm not going to say I sit there and practice it on a daily basis or anything like that, all right? If I go, my you know, obviously my trading and charting skills will compound, but I would like that to be a skill set in there as well. How do you read the tape? You do so on Thinkorswim, because that is what I was using to do so. And obviously you just got, you know, unusual whales. But, you know, I was having a blast with unusual whales, and then I realized so many whales just lose so much. So, like, I was just like, you know, I'm just going to follow the charts. I will stop paying attention to unusual whales. But yeah, how do you do that, yo? Meow, meow, meow. Do it off Thinkorswim, because that is how I learned to do so. All right, let's look at the next ticker. We got Apple. Yeah, Apple's one we'll pay attention to this week as well. All right. Biggest one on SPY and QQ is right here on Apple, and I'm going to point out you have a gravestone doji going on. I know you can't really see it because of my line right here, right? We'll call it a shooting star, right? This is too thick of a bar right there for gravestone doji. Gravestone doji, by the way, if anybody doesn't know, it's literally when you have the same closing price as the open price. So your candle's going to look literally like this. Instead of it being like this with a bar, like what you have right here, it's going to be, I don't know if we have any examples. On the weekly chart, we actually have a perfect example. Look at that. Look at that bad boy right here. You see that? That's your gravestone doji. And if you see other ones that don't look like that, then they're just shooting star candlesticks or inverted hammer. But either way, that's that. All right, gravestone doji, bearish. Regardless, guys, this could just be a lower high compared to up here. So you did break out. And why am I saying that? Because you already broke down underneath the last low, and that's not something that's not bullish. All right, that's literally, you had this structure down here, you broke that structure. Right, so like it's the same thing we were just going on with the supply and demand zones. You got this level / zone of support down here. You would want, you know, you would want price to immediately bounce off the level, showing that there's a buy imbalance, but instead there was a sell imbalance. So now, for all I know, guys, naturally, we're going to come up and we're going to put in a lower high. Now that we did this, we were looking for a lower high. I didn't think it would be the next day, but we were looking for that lower high. And now, if you do come down here and break this low, that is when we're probably going to revisit this level right here, and then probably the gap fill once we're down that close, all the way down at 167.04, all right? But if you want to get bullish on this, guys, there's not really too much upside to be paying attention to. Let's just go down to the hourly time frame. All right, just like literally come down to the hourly time frame. You can see I have this resistance 180.20. All right, if you break 180.20, guys, you're talking weeklies to the gap fill. Outside of that, I really wouldn't be touching this. All right, just like over here, I was telling everyone, I was screaming from the top of my lungs every single video that I was getting sick of talking about freaking Apple at that point. I was screaming from the top of my lungs, hey guys, dated calls, that's your thing. Hey, okay, guys, this RSI, it doesn't stay down here. since 2020, even 2020, you got a massive bounce from the RSI being down where it was, right? That's when you put in a bullish divergence here, and then you end up having a massive bounce. Even before you put in a bullish divergence, you did end up getting this, all right? $11 freaking move right there, all right? So like straight up, that is what we were looking for. We end up getting it. I'm just relating this setup to that setup. You had a clear as day upside setup over here. That's what I was saying about reversal. That's like, if I had to say one specialty, there it is. Timing these reversals. That is what I've been pretty good at over the last like year or two. And that's what we had here. Right now, you're in no man's land. You got no reversal to sit there and time. You have no benefit on one side or the other. That is what I'm pointing out. Honestly, if I want to go long in this thing, I want this thing to make a new low, and I want to be long off of this level right here or this gap fill right here. That's personally just how I'm looking at Apple. By that time, the RSI is going to come down here, and now we're going to have another area of confluence, and then boom, all right, things are going to line up, and you can load your dated Apple calls again. I had 915 Apple calls. I don't remember what strike at this point. Maybe they're the 180s. Probably the 180s or 185. I was tight. All right, it was tight. You ended up running to 190. Freaking sold those for a loss. Okay, that's okay. I'm about to start shifting my trading over to just a lot of date. All right, like I'm talking literally just swing trading indices with a decent amount of size, maybe like, you know, 2-3 grand each time. All right, I'm gonna be working a Verizon job, so I'm not gonna be able to watch the charts nearly as close as I have been able to, but you know, I'm still gonna be able to chart and have all my alerts on and stuff like that. But honestly, I think this is a great thing. All right, day trading has not you know, I mean, I'm not going to say it's easily the most stressful part of trying to sit there and trade the market. All right, if you are swing trading and just waiting for these setups, like we had one pop up over here, we had one on SPY pop up over here, as you just buying date, I'm talking over here like buying October calls, all right, down here. That would have been the move. I would have felt so safe in October calls. Yeah, I got 915 calls, I think it was. So that I felt like I need to take my profit on immediately. Even though, you know, October calls, you're able to just have these steady flips, all right? So I'm talking buying a lot of time in your contracts and not going for these big gains at all by any means. Just literally just having these safe flips every week or two. All right, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on. That's what I'm going to be sizing up on. I'm not going to size up on the little plays anymore. All right, like what I was talking about on like trading Nvidia, you got to freaking throw in $300 per contract to get a sexy contract if it's not a 0 DTE on Friday. Like, guys, I'm not comfortable with getting like 2 or 3 of those. Not a freaking chance. If I do it, I'm gonna be in and out. And if I see gains, I'm probably gonna want to take them on the spot because, you know, I don't want to be risking that much. But if you get a bunch of time and you're like really just waiting patiently for these setups, you know, a lot more peace of mind comes with that. So I'm very excited to transition back over there. I was thinking the other day, someone said something in Discord about how they're like they're thinking about just like, you know, just going all in that mindset and like how you could quickly like flip. And I mentioned how I thought of on my walk the other day. I was like, you know, last year I flipped within 2 to 3 trades, like I think it was like 2 or 3K, maybe it was 5K, into like it was like $57,000, and I felt like the man. And honestly, looking back, like I could do that with swings now. All right, I can. But I kind of just silenced that thought the other day. I was like, Henry, you're past this. You don't do that. You don't do these things. But like, what if you're just not sitting there going all in on everything? You're just sitting there trading it with a couple $1,000s in every single swing trade instead of, you know, trying to flip an account. You're not trying to flip the account. You're just trying to, you know, just sit there in a safe swing when you see these opportunities pop up. I don't know. All right. So I'm excited. A little bit of a transition there, all right, but we're still gonna keep sprinkling in exactly what we're doing now, all right. Those are just gonna be the big plays. All right, back into, I know I just talked your ears off for so long, I'm sorry. All right, that's what we're watching over here on Apple. All right, not really much of anything. If you break under here, you're looking for this level, and then the gap fill down there at 167. All right, if you break above here, again, upside's limited, guys. You got this on the hourly time frame. You can see right here, you're gonna have gap resistance, then you're also going to have your next resistance could be at 183 and above the gap fill. That's not much right there, right? So like I wouldn't be touching this with anything less than anything more than weeklies, because those weeklies you could pull like 100% out of this move right from here to here. You could pull the 100% move from here to here. But yeah, I wouldn't be touching like, you know, 929 contract in October. I wouldn't be looking at it like that. All right. Moving on to SOXS. All right, SOXS. Over that real quick. All right. I actually do like the look of this. I'm just going to say right now. Why? Because you didn't give back this gap immediately. I really like that you just are looking like you're going to get a gap and go here. All right. Now, if you do come back and refill this, does not mean it's getting weak. I'm still going to say you're likely just going to get break and retest either from the gap fill or you're going to do it from this level down here. All right. You can see this was a respected. You have 3 touch points going on down here. I bet if we come down to the hourly time frame, look at that. What do you got? You have literally a break and freaking retest going on. Sexy. All right. I love seeing these things. I really do. I swear they're everywhere. They're literally everywhere. You could have the exact level being all the way down here. So I think you're probably going to fill this gap, which is the high of 969. Let's just get that level right. 969. Have you as a green level right there. All right. So that is what you're paying attention to over there. And then, like, you know, if you keep going, what you're going to be paying attention, if you want to play this, all right, you're looking for just continuation over this level right here. Like, really, you want to break this level right here, all right? But you can see this is the respected level, all right? I know you got slightly above it, but you sold off. You got 1 touch point, 2, 3, 4, 5 going on right there. And then you include these, you got 6. But if you really want to play upside safely here, you're waiting for a break of 1038. Then you will have nothing until you come all the way up here to 11 bucks. All right. And this is cheap one. So I'm guessing the premiums are also going to be cheap over here. Not too bad, but you know, not really much to be playing anymore. Anything over here on. I would stick to AMD and Nvidia if you're going to touch this thing right here. I would really just stick to the things that you know will have a lot of movement, whereas this doesn't have a lot of movement. All right. Really does not. All right, next one is going to be DXY and TNX, and then ADSK. All right, so let's look at TNX real quick. TNX, you do have a hammer candlestick going on over here. I do want to point out you have this trend line going on that I can pretty clearly see here. All right, so that's a area of interest right here. You could actually do something like that. I know you had that false breakdown, but it could just be that, a false breakdown. You do see we have, you know, discluding this, you have 4 touch points along this. So yeah, we're going to keep this trend line going on right here. All right, and actually you can do control and you could drag that. And now, guys, we have a pretty well-defined upper channel going on here as well. So glad we looked at this. All right. Regardless, you have a hammer candlestick that does hint towards this just being a higher low along like the way here. And then if you break above here, then you're looking for a move all the way up here. Honestly, guys, like, I think it's better not even to pay attention to these things. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. It's so easy to just watch the indices. Last year, I was trying to just complicate everything with, you know, the 10, all the yields and stuff like that. And then DXY, look at DXY now. And I'm just going to point out again, I mean, why complicate things? Just why? All right. SPY's moving up. Is DXY moving up? I'm actually going to say that is a red flag right there. I know for a fact that's the case. Regardless, DXY did end up having your breakout here. Now you're going to be looking for that retest. So you're looking for something like that. Just like you broke it through this level, you came back to this level. I know it's not perfect, but you did end up doing that. We're looking for a retest of this heavily traded level going on right there. All right. And you can actually lower that and you can see right here. All right. So we know our level was pretty spot on there because you literally sold off from just below there. So now we'll just bring that down and match that up, and we can actually bring it down a little lower. Now we have a ton of touch points, so maybe we get something like that going on, and then we see him move back up there. So like, we're gonna have to see what happens right here. But if I had to take a guess at it, you're probably gonna see this happen right here. But bearish divergence on the daily RSI going from this touch point to this one over here. All right. You got a slight one going on. Yeah, 70.91 and 70.25. So we'll see if you get a green day, that's going to get burned if you get a green day on Monday. Regardless, guys, it is something to be paying attention to. I'm not going to be paying attention to it, but if you would like to concern yourself with all this and complicate things, that is, you know, more power to you. Obviously, if you do understand this beast over here, you will better understand these guys over here. All right. But DXY, you're really just looking for that retest. And the thing about the retest is also going to be a trend line touch as well. All right. So if you hold the trend line, there you go. If you don't, you have a condition that is different from this whole time. All right. And you can also see we have a pretty clear channel going up here. Look at this. Clean breakout from that descending broadening wedge going on. Clean breakout from your falling wedge going on. We were looking for that breakout a while back, and I thought it was going to lead to a much larger correction. It did not. All right, so that is why I say, like, hey, you know, much easier just to fall level by level on the indices instead of watching all of these other things. It really is. I swear to God, it's so much easier. All right, but yeah, pretty clean price action going on here. You're going to have a super support going on here because you'll have trend line touch as well as the breakout level. So there you go. All right, there's DXY. Let's take a look at ADSK. ADSK, I got you. I have never heard of this one. Autodesk, I take that back. I have heard of this one. Holy dude, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Dude, do yourself a favor. Don't trade the stock. I'm just going to tell you right now, this thing looks tremendously frustrating to trade. But I do think it has a big move queuing up. All right. So, like, the only thing I would be trading is that big move. You're going to do this. You're going to put an alert on here once per bar close, create, and you are waiting to see if you get a candle close above here. You buy the crap out of that candle close above. All right. Why? Because you have now had, how many years is this? All right. Not how many years. How many year? It's been 1 year. All right. You've been consolidating for a straight year here. Well, 444 days. So a year and 1.3 years you've been consolidating here. I'm just pointing it out. You are very likely going to have a very volatile breakout here. This is either going to be a bear flag and you're going to come down here and come down to the downside and you're going underneath this low here. Actually, if this is going to be treated as a rising wedge, the target is going to be that low. So it would be right here. All right. But I think what's more likely is you break up. All right. And I'm just going to point out right now. All right. We're going to keep that arrow so we could use that. Let's just point out some resistances. And that's why I say don't trade this crap. This is, you know, like I would say you come down to 190. You top out at 220 every time. Guys, that's so frustrating. This is on the weekly chart too. These things take a while. So I'm guessing you got to buy like a lot of time if you're trying to swing this thing. It's not even worth it. That's what I'm getting at. It's just not worth it. All right. But your resistances are so far above that. That's why I say only trade the breakout. Only. Why are you going to do anything else? All right. Look at this. You break out. Let's just say you go a little above. You come all the way to 230 on like a gap up or something. I don't know. There's a 10% move you could be taking. All right. And then above there. What are we level to level? All right. You have another just over 10%. You have 12% to go over there. All right. So this is exactly what I'd be doing over here on this ticker. I wouldn't be touching this thing at all until it broke out. So I will keep that alert on. And if it gets hit this week, I will bring it to you guys in the next one. All right. Will I be trading it and have it on the watch list? No. But will I bring it up? Yeah, we can do that. All right. I'll add this to a ticker to be paying attention to. Also, I have this alert. So we'll watch it. All right. AMD went over PayPal. Let's look at PayPal. PayPal. All right. I still think this thing is going to recover. I'm just putting it out there. I think this thing is definitely just consolidating, waiting for a big move. When is that big move coming? I got absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. We were paying attention to this thing when it came down here to support. So we have that level going on. Broke support, but on the weekly time frame, you did not end up giving that up. All right. You ended up holding this level that we were paying attention to. So because of this, all right, because of this, I'm just going to say I'm still bullish on this thing. All right. Like, guys, you haven't really, you know, violated this falling wedge like freaking PFE we covered earlier, violated the massive falling wedge. This thing is not. All right, so for all I know, you're literally just consolidating down here before I move higher. You can come down, watch for a bullish divergence to pop up here on your RSI if you do end up doing that. But as far as I'm concerned, you are likely going to be coming down here to this level, reclaiming that, like, you know, you lost it. You're going to reclaim it here with the retest. It's going to be a successful retest, and you're probably going to push back up to where you found resistance over here, right? So that's like $3 of upside. There's your short-term trade plan right there. Shares vesting this week sounds like I'll just be selling them close to the top of that wedge. Yeah, honestly, like, hey, if you're someone with a lot of money and you just want to, I don't know what you're rocking with, but if you're someone with, you know, a lot, like I know some people who just do the share thing and they make a lot more, like a lot more than I do on every single trade, guaranteed, and they do tons and tons of shares. If you're someone like that and you want a safe thing to be trading, then let's go back over here. Well, I'm just going to point out right now, here's your positive in this. All right. You've gone nowhere for so long. All right. There's your security in this ticker. Right. So if you don't want to lose money, all right, there you go. You've gone nowhere. You can continue. You have found a ticker that continuously just swings back and forth. So until that big move happens, it's going to be a safe thing. And even if you get in here and it comes down here, you probably just wait and it'll swing back up. Like, look at this. It doesn't take too much time. All right. It's a month, all right? Let's say you bought it up here because you were like, breakout. Guess what? It came back up to your average price up here anyway. So your cost basis within, like, you know, it took a month to fall and it took like less than a month to rally back up. So like, hey, all right, that's the plus in this one, all right? And guys, if you are like that, like I just described, if you are a share kind of person, all right, hey, all right, you got to be trading differently than how we discuss these things. Like you do, but I mean, it's actually, you know, it's pretty similar. But I still do think, hey, if you want to find tickers like these are the things to go with. Walmart over here, this thing is a freaking giant that just, you know, this is your safe giant over here, right? I wouldn't be touching Target, or people could look at this giant, but no, you clearly see this thing. People aren't buying it. Simple psychology, all right? What's behind this price? Walmart, guys, people keep buying it. Why? Because I'm going to go to Walmart today to buy some undershirts, all right? Walmart's got everything, all right? Anything you need, you could just go to your local Walmart, all right? So, like, you go to Walmart. So I would say, yeah, if you are, you know, on the older side and you're getting to that point where you want safety in your tickers, all right, or in your stocks that you're holding, all right, start looking for these safer plays. Walmart, put that on your radar, all right? All right, moving on to the next one. All right, I'm taking so much time here. All right, but at least we're not an hour and a half in like the last one. So let's see if we can beat that. All right, so we have Oracle. We already looked at that. I think I actually didn't really give TA on it. I think I just showed you guys how I liked it. All right, Oracle's right up at resistance. All right, so that is something I want to point out. Until you break resistance, just expect rejection from this. Expect sellers to come in. Your RSI is literally at it's at 70 right now. So if you do get on up there, it's probably going to be a scenario like this where maybe you slightly overthrow it and then come back and just consolidate on it for a while. So maybe we get something like this. You're just kind of dancing around it and maybe eventually you break out, or eventually that's your base and you break down. All right. But once you have, let me just point this out. All right. Let's just go down to the hourly time frame. Once you have this, it's very easy to play this thing because it's either you break down under this level, all right? It's either you break down and you're going to start coming down to this next support right here, right? So let's just draw an arrow right there. Or you got this going on right here and you break up and you get that, all right? It's one or the other. So like until you have that though, there's no reason you should be touching it up here at resistance. I'm just going to make that very clear. Once it does break the resistance, then you're watching for exactly what I just pointed out on the hourly time frame if you choose to trade it. But I'm going to say the time to be loading up on this thing was down here at support. All right. That is that. All right. What is the next one we have to look at? What is it? CBRL? CBRL. Take a look at that bad boy right there. Holy Jesus, it's a dead dog. Why do you want to touch a dead dog? I don't think you should be touching a dead dog. Just my personal opinion. Touch the dead dog if you like. You might get a disease. That is what I'll say here, right? Why do I call this thing a dead dog, guys? Nobody, clear as day, nobody wants this thing. This is 2021. Guys, 875 flipping days this thing has been declining for. Why do you want to touch something that's been declining for almost 3 years, 2.5 years at that point? I don't know. All right. But if you want to be touching it, let's just go over some simple technical analysis here. Right. You got support. You got support. You got support. What are you watching for? If you really want to buy the falling knife and you want to get your illness from the dead dog, maybe, you go to the vet and They disinfect you. I don't know. I don't know if you go to the doctor, they disinfect you. You're playing something like this, all right? You're literally going to be playing for a move from 67-ish bucks, 68 right here from this support right here. All right, you're looking for buyers to step up. You want a bullish candlestick, a hammer candlestick, a pin bar, anything with a lower wick to pop up down there. You're looking at for to be supported by volume. But again, I mean, what the heck is this? These bounces don't really even last, and then you just die. All right, very quick bounces, and then you die. Can you make a lot of quick money off this thing? Yeah, all right, you could see this. All right, once you start going, you start going. But guess what? Let's just look at this. All right. And this is why I said we have to see what candlestick prints off of there. Like right now, we have a shooting star candlestick on SPY and QQ, leading towards we likely start seeing a sell-off next week. All right, going to start the week. Right here, signal. All right, what do we have? I'm just going over how you could have caught these little previous swings here. All right, right here, you have a pattern going on here. I could very clearly see that one. All right, and what happened? You broke out, retested it. All right, so you have a signal here to go long. That's how you could have caught this little 10% move, I think. 90 bucks to, 5 something percent. I don't know. All right, you have a signal there. You have a signal here. All right, that's where you're paying attention to. All right, this one, the little pussy run right here. What do you have right here? Signal. And how big was this run? It wasn't a pussy run. All right, this was a 20% rip you had, and that's why I say you have opportunity to make quick money on this one. All right, but you need the signal. Without the signal, I don't think anyone should be touching the dead dog. Hammer candlestick right there, signal for a 10% rip. All right, and I'm just pointing out how you could have caught these quick money rips. All right, bullish engulfing candlestick right here, signal. All right, not much of a rip. Again, bounces don't last too long. 4% rip, you started consolidating again. Dead dog, that's what they're going to do, right? You're going to consolidate and die because nobody wants to be buying them up, guys. That's all it means. This company doesn't have a lot of stuff going on that's, innovative. It's not attracting new investors. Not something I'd be paying attention to. Over here, not only do you have a bunch of hammer candlesticks I see forming down there, but you also have a break and retest going on. Right here, the retest happens with a signal candlestick, your hammer candlestick. There's your signal. All right, so right here, signal for the rip that then went, boom. Within 2 days, you went up another 7-something%. All right. What do you got going on right here? You have two signal candlesticks. I could see right there. Let me put that right there. Signal candlestick. Signal candles. Well, technically, this hammer is going to be a signal. And then the fact that you are not breaking down here and you're consolidating, that's also, the doji can be treated as a signal candlestick. But then you got this going on right here. All right. See this little break and retest? It was a failed. All right. Dead dog. You still had a little rip you could play, only for a few bucks right there. What do you got down here at the bottom? All right. First things first, right here on support. All right. So that's why the first thing I did when I chart, guys, I just draw out the support to start. I like, looking at everything as I have it. All right. But guess what? Support right there. Come down. Signal candlestick. Hammer off of support. That's your signal. So that's why I say you got to wait to see what, candlestick happens over there. What do you have going on right here? Well, all right, I think it's pretty obvious. If you've been paying attention to what we've been mentioning a lot throughout this live stream, double bottom, base, all right, what does the base do? You have a low, you have a higher low. Oh, what is this? You break it and create that higher high. Now, what did you get here? You could have bought here, still would have gotten, you bought the breakout daily gap up right there, right? You bought it end of the day, 91 bucks. Went all the way to 95 bucks. All right. Short dated cons. You probably got over 100% on that. Guess what? You got the retest. You got to run it back. And then what is that? With the retest, you have a doji candlestick. That's your signal candlestick. That's why I say it's all going to matter on these candlesticks. All right. Right here. All right. What is that? A dragonfly doji candlestick. Very similar to the hammer. Right? Same psychology. All right. Signal. All right. You did have one right here. Right. That's why, you got to wait for, the breakthrough of these candlesticks. You want to see the bases, all right? And the bases, guys, you're gonna watch for these on the hourly time frame. That's at least what I do, all right? But it's very, very nice, all right? Break and retest, very nice. All right, so that's all you're really paying attention to over here on Cracker Barrel. But again, dead dog. If you want to get an illness, touch the dead dog. It's gonna be frustrating. It's gonna probably cost you money. And why? Because every single rip gets sold to lower lows, and you don't. Some of these signals, they produce very minuscule rips, and you're like, 4%, that's all I got? Are you kidding? This thing is falling 20%. 4%, that's the rebound? So that's why I said illness, frustration. Don't touch the dead dog. It's for your own good. Yeah, Oxy's really good, all right? Oxy has really clean price action. Meow, meow. I just saw you said that. So we looked at Oracle and Cracker Barrel. We have Oxy moves 25-cent increments, 50 cents. I understand the price action perfectly under. Oxy's was actually one I used to be part of this. I don't think she's around anymore, but there was this girl called Peachy Investor, and that's actually how I got started in options. Like, not how I got started, but that's who I originally would really like learn options from. She had like a group. This had to have been like 2 years ago or whatever. But I mean, I had like a bunch of AMC money. I had lost a bunch of AMC money, and I was like, all right, I need to learn. So I went to, it was like J Bravo and a ton of other courses and stuff. And then I had her like group and stuff. And Oxy was actually, Oxy and Zom was a ticker that, those are two that she like focused on pretty much every day. That and Starbucks, S-Bucks actually. That was a setup I saw recently. Oh, no, you gave up support here. You're right back down here, right? So actually, you know what? Sloppy over here. Very sloppy. This could potentially be a higher low, though. But yeah, I don't like the fact that it's off lower volume and the selling is happening off a high volume. Not good, all right, guys? Volume Price Analysis, VPA, by Anna Colin, I think her name is. I highly recommend the book. Highly recommend. If there's one book I would say to every single person out there that's in the stock market, just read Volume Price Analysis. It's going to literally show you exactly what matters, and then it's, you know, that's it. There's nothing else. All right, like there are other things, but they, like, you don't need them. All right, Volume Price Analysis, and then watch, you know, go learn about Fibonacci retracements, and you'll be literally set. Just watch for the break and retest, watch for the golden pocket test. All right, watch that RSI. If we're getting into oversold and overbought territory on the daily time frame, like, it's so easy. It's not easy, but it is so easy. All right, it really is. But yeah, VPA. All right, you got the price. All right, you got the price right here. Get shooting star. You have the volume. All right, down here. All right, two pieces to the puzzle. All right, moving on though. Sorry, a lot of talking. Well, I guess that's what you do on a YouTube channel. Crap, we're hitting the 130 mark. We're at 125. All right, let's see if we could quickly get through this before the 130 mark. I thought this was going to be a 30-minute live stream. It's not a 30-minute live stream. That is okay by me though. That is okay. It's fine. Thank you guys for being here with me. I just want to say I highly appreciate all of you guys. We are at 3,200 something people. So guys, we're gonna be at 4,000 freaking people soon. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Yes, it is. Oh yeah. Yeah, guys. Oh, that's cool, guys. There's 20 of us in here right now. Super cool, man. Super cool. 3.21. That is what we're at. All right, guys. So I'm looking and I don't see any more tickers. If you guys have any more tickers, let me know in the next like minute. I'm gonna close this out in a minute. If not, yeah. Honestly, guys, going into this week, it's kind of like a nothing burger week. You gotta wait and see what happens next. It's gonna be like, I guess it's not a nothing burger. It's a consolidation week. We gotta literally just wait and see what the next move is going to be. You're either gonna bust them down through here, or you're gonna bust them up through here. One or the other, right? Just literally be paying attention to it. It's not something you need to really trade. You gotta be waiting. If you get a dip, you're waiting for the dip by opportunity. All right. If you continue to see a rally, you could play some scalps to the long side again. The time to really be loading up in your swing longs was down over here. I would not be doing so by any means up here. Just know, risk to reward here, you're right in the middle at 445. Your low is over here at, we'll call 430. Your high is at 460. You're literally smack dead in the middle. 15 to the downside, 15 to the upside. That is not something I would be comfortable going swing short or long into. I'm just going to point out, if you come back up here, all right, that's when, you know what, your risk reward is skewed now to the downside. So now puts, all right, come back down here and you don't really structurally break things too bad. All right, yes, I'm talking that, but on the weekly chart, you really don't want to see this level broken. All right, if it does, I think that's when, going long is going to be a little A little nerve-wracking, all right? A little nerve-wracking. Now it's not like going along over here, all right? You have something you haven't had in months, all right? But yeah, let's go over QQ real quick for JB. Hey, what's up, JB? What is up? I appreciate you. Just know, guys, hey, if you're commenting on the vids, just know you do like really help me out a lot. I know for a fact the engagement does just heavily, get me new people. Channel has been I don't want to call it blown up. We've been getting like 10 to 20 people every single video, new people. All right, so we got to be doing something right. I'm excited for this. I'm seeing the pace just pick up recently. So hopefully that consistently occurs, guys. Hopefully the exponential growth curve exists over here on YouTube. We hit that, and the current trajectory, we're gonna hit like 10K over the next year, or we're gonna, if we go at the same pace we've been at, we're gonna hit 8K within a year. We're growing at like a what did I do it? I think it was a 20%. No, not 20% rate. That would be too quick, right? I think it's like a 10 to 12% rate we are growing at month over month. So it is compounding. It's steadily going up. Not steadily going up. It's steadily going up more and more. So I hope that just keeps up. All right, but QQQ, honestly, dude, you're literally looking at this. These two levels, 375, we'll make them white for you. All right, we'll make these white levels so they stand out here instead of all the red levels. I know I got so many levels on this chart. These are the two levels you're paying attention to. Over here, you're bullish until 381. But if you get up to 381, this is the level where you are 110%. You're expecting rejection. All right. Why? Because this is the last stand for the sellers. If you break above here and you get a daily close above there, that's when we are very, very likely 9 to 1 odds from that point on. You're coming up to this next resistance. You're going to break it, and you're going to come up to 390, and you're probably going to tap it. That's going to put in a higher high from over here as well. The weekly time frame, what is that going to do? That's going to confirm this is your higher low. All right. Well, I mean, meh. All right, QQ's a little more sloppy than SPY. SPY actually held that, and now it does have a higher low compared to over there. QQ does not. All right, but if you break above the high, so if you break above the golden pocket, you're going to probably break above the high. If you break above the high, we have a completely bullish-ass chart going on over here on the weekly time frame, all right? But just know, you have this inside bar here. It's more bullish than not. You have a longer wick to the downside than the upside. So we know bulls were more in control than the bears there. They had more price swing there. All right, low volume on the pullback week. I don't care about Monday was off. I don't care. I care about the charts. That's where we're paying attention. Even if Monday was there, we would still have low volume, all right? This candlestick was low volume compared to all of these, all right? Regardless, low volume pullback, inside bar, all right? It was a bearish rally, all right? So I'll point that out. But in recent times, bearish rally has actually led to further upside, all right? You have that going on over here. It's further upside. You have almost a bearish rally, further upside. So these are the last two occurrences of low volume inside bars after these big green bars. Does that not look very similar to what happened right here? Does it not? Because I think it does. So that's how I'm really looking at this thing. I'm more bullish than bearish on QQ and SPY right now, specifically because of what I just went over on the weekly charts. All right, plus, they're still in uptrends until they're not. All right, but I really wouldn't be touching these. If you want to trade these with short-term contracts, weekly contracts, do it off of this level right here. You break down, you're in a daily downtrend. All right, why are you in a daily downtrend? You have a high, you have a low, you have a lower high, and you break that level, you now have a lower low. So like 110%, you have a confirmed daily downtrend. And last time, like you started this process, it didn't, it didn't just go away. You didn't just recover. No, you had a complete unwind of this whole move right here. So it could lead to further downside. And from that point, you're paying attention to 366. That's $3. So weekly contracts, you're playing, we'll say with Friday's expiration, you're opening these on Monday. You see that? All right, dude, they're going to, I don't know how much they're going to be, but you're probably going to want to be playing like 366 contracts for 915, get them in the money. Maybe that's a 50 to 100% gain. I don't know off the top of my head. All right, but you're going to probably take out this level. Then you come here, and this isn't much support. This was a pit stop. The real support is going to be down here. This is where the reversal took place. So I expect if you break this 369.15 with all likelihood, all right, we'll give it 8 out of 10 odds. All right, and that's 7 out of 10 odds. 8 out of 10 is pretty high. All right, you're going to come down to this 361 level. All right, so that is what I personally would be playing. I'm probably not going to play that. Probably going to pay attention to the watch list instead, and just wait for the swing opportunities over here on the indices again. But yeah, you break it to the upside, 375.29. That's when you got nothing until 381. All right. So if you want a 915 expiration there, boom, bop, bing, boo, pow, $5 of upside, you're definitely getting 100% on that. There you go. So that's literally as easy as it is. There's nothing else you really got to worry about on QQ. Just watch the golden pocket, watch 381. All right. And then if you want to play it in the short term and not just paying attention in the long term, 369.15, 375.29. Only two levels you got to worry about. All right. There you go. All right, guys. I'm going to close things off here. I'm going to go on this walk with my pups before it gets dark. We're going to need like 2 hours to do so on that. Shout out to everyone going to get some exercise, guys. I swear, daily exercise calms the mind. It clears the mind. Do it every day. Your body and mind will thank you. I promise. All right. Every day I don't. I just feel cluttered. And then like you get out there and like you don't even need music. You just guys. I don't know. It's like you look at it as boring. All right. But those are the times when you're gonna sit there and think. Those are the times when you're like, I don't want to turn hippie-ish. You're one with nature or anything like that. But I am definitely gonna say like, hey, all right. There is a difference from going and walking in silence there to walking on your streets. I swear, just go and get your exercise. Do it preferably in the woods. All right, guys. With that being said, thank you so much for being here with me. I know I just took an hour and 35 minutes of your time. Thank you so much for devoting this time to us here on this channel. I appreciate you so much. And I do look forward to what is to come. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace. Which, by the way, our update, guys, it's not going to be intraday. It's going to be after 5 p.m. I have my orientation for Verizon starting this week, and then I have training the first month. All right, so completely different schedule. It's going to be more like a 9 to 5. So I am excited for this. I am very excited for this, and I am excited to have our daily updates are not going to be with insufficient data. All right. Because at the current point in time, I got to go to work at 4 o'clock each day. I got to leave my house at 3:40, 3:45 if I want to get there on time. Then I got to record the video around 3 o'clock because, you know, things change going into the end of the days. You get these volatile moves. So I try and make it as close as to the end of the day as possible. But yeah, guess what, guys? We're not going to have to worry about that. It's going to be amazing. All right. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow after the bell.